holy crap, I found a field still with some life in it. And it's September 25th, and I'm gonna run into this field because you know what, guys, I've kind of felt bad. The last few videos are about all this corn that's falling down and all this corn that's got no health in the stalks. We're gonna take a look at a field that actually had a program utilizing Sky Scout in this, and we found things that needed to be done. This is right along Highway 17. You can hear the cars going by. And they followed through some of our recommendations, and I want to tell you what this corn looks like. Okay guys, I'm into some corn that I've been looking for basically all day, and that was some plant health still left. You know, this looks great. I really need to get back on track. Don't have my hydration out here, Dara, I'm sorry. And I am actually getting thirsty because I'm used to that. But what I'm looking at is, yeah, there's still some plant health, and here's the good news. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of 10, only one kinked over. And as I pull these husks back, some of you would say, Dan, what are you talking about? This is great looking corn. But it's twisty. I can't break it like I can with corn that had no fungicide. This had one fungicide application. This field is in Sky Scout. Made a recommendation to this individual that I thought we needed another application the first week of August, and I wish that would have happened, because while I think we're going to get 220 in here possibly, and that's what really the interesting thing when you take a look at ears and you look at rows around and the number of kernels, it tells you what a potential yield would be, but it doesn't tell you the kernel depth, and it doesn't tell you how heavy these are. And if the plant was not able to fulfill its needs with all the sugar production because the top leaves just didn't, and this plant factory weren't able to go the entire season, that's when you drop off some yield. So I think 2 applications based off of what we've been seeing would have probably popped this thing up 20-30 bushels. My friend John here, many times in really good producing years, can get 250, but I think he's going to be a 220. We will know because this is in Sky Scout. I wanted to give you the most fantastic field that I could find. I know this individual is a really, really very good farmer. Worked with him since 2014. And I think he did a great job this year. It's just that nobody knew what to do with southern rust. We hadn't had southern rust. Cole the Corn Star commented on one of our videos earlier that southern rust is something that we just haven't faced here in Iowa, and we're all on a learning curve. And the learning curve this year was that you definitely needed fungicide. One pass, let me get back here. One pass was very helpful. And you can see in this field, depending upon the resistance or the tolerance of the hybrid, or another way I could put it, depending upon the susceptibility to the disease like tar spot or southern rust. And there is tar spot in here too. But depending upon that, one pass definitely helped. This year, with the record rainfall in July in many areas and the perfect conditions for disease, 2 passes, guys, 2 passes. The individuals that did 2 passes, really, those are the 260s that we're hearing. Now in Ag Talk, I'm just gonna be totally upfront with you guys. In Ag Talk, I had a couple individuals, and it can be rough in that social media site, and you gotta have thick skin there. But I had people say, Dan, you're just a salesman. All you really wanna do is sell fungicide. And I told him, I've been doing this for 45 years. What I wanna do is make a difference for guys. And when I know these individuals, I do not want them to spend $30, $40 more than they have to. But in this case, spending that extra $30 or whatever, depending upon the application cost, depending upon the fungicide, 30 to 40 bucks. And that's for a top, a top shelf fungicide. I mean, you might have been able to use a generic and done a second pass less than that. But let's just use, for purposes of discussion, $30 extra fungicide, paying out 20 to 30 bushels more. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys have been in these fields and combining these cornfields. It's been awful quiet, guys. It's been crickets. And that's because, for the most part, people aren't talking. People are disappointed in their yields. I wanted this to be an optimistic video, and it's half optimistic. Half optimistic because we've got some green health here. The tops are in. We've got some decent ears. But I've seen better, and they've got the twisties. No, they talked about the twisties in gymnastic. Nobody wants the twisties in their corn. You know what I mean. When you twist these ears, in the non-fungicide, they break in two, and this one, they twist pretty good. That means that they just didn't fill properly. Like I was saying, some of this corn still has some plant health in it. It had one application of fungicide. I think genetics is a big play here. And if anybody wants to get in contact with me afterwards, I'll tell you what this genetics is. But I think everybody knows that genetics had a big play in how well hybrids tolerated the diseases, tar spot, southern rust, and all that type of thing. So we got some plant health. This is fantastic. They're not all upright. It's September 25th. But look at these ears. White cob, if that's a clue. Man, I just love what I'm seeing, because I've been in so much corn that was spongy. Holy crap, look at this thing. I mean, there's hardly any cob in the kernel depth. Now, look how firm this is. Totally different than all the other stuff that I've been talking to you about. And another thing that I like is a little bit, when you get behind the sun, and a little bit of the golden glow, which shows that you had leaves that that actually didn't get much disease, and they dried down normally. Whoa. So I don't know what this field's gonna be. It's in Sky Scout, working with this particular grower, so we'll know and we'll report back to you. But this is one of the best fields that I've seen the last 4 to 5 weeks of being out here looking at all this corn that's broken off, and no green in it, in a dark brown to almost black, and combines going through it, and black smoke and black dust clouds going, and actually some of them had a little orange color to it. One last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this drone up, because I want to look at this field and see what it looks like from above. I like to put this up because you can find some really interesting things. Sometimes there are patterns that maybe you don't want to see if it's green and brown striped, because that might mean some spray pattern challenges. Sometimes you see where varieties or hybrids changed. And so let's take a look at this and see what we can find up here. And I'll do a talk over this. Actually, this is pretty beautiful looking corn. Although I do see something here. See that? That looks like we've got something going on here. Not gonna, yeah, see, there's alternating areas where we've got green. We got some brown. And it really looks like there's some potential striping in here. And that would have come because of application. So that's going to make it really interesting. So I need to go back in this field and then try to compare the areas that had some green to the areas that were brown, because that would make a difference. Oh yeah, you can really see it very well in here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to return this one to home. Well, I don't want to make this video too long because I know that the attention span today is only a certain amount of minutes, but I'll either leave it as it was and then maybe put this on at the end, and then do another one in a few days and check the ear size differences. That could make a difference of where I was at when I did the main body. Dan Bjorklund, Landus Technical Agronomist, signing out till next time.